Hello, everybody. Welcome back to CFB25. We are here in episode number 13, I believe, part 13, and we have a commit. George Brockle commits, and so does Demarius Dewey. So we get two commits back to back. Our recruiting class isn't that loaded full of players. We haven't recruited a ton of guys, but we've gotten some good recruits that I did want. So I'm kind of balancing, I guess. We still have some guys on the board. There's still time for them to commit here towards the end of the season. They still have a chance. It's still possible that we can get a couple more here. But that is the recruiting update as it stands. So we're still looking at a quarterback, potentially a 3-star quarterback. I can't remember if we've recruited one or not. Just trying to recruit en masse, get the best possible players to Logan, Utah, because that is what we need. So here is a look at the Mountain West standings, how they panned out. So us and Nevada at the top, of course, playing today, and Fresno State and San Diego State were on the outside looking in, and then after that it kind of just drops off into oblivion. UNLV finally comes in where I believe they should have been, in the 6th spot. They were in like the 2nd spot when we played San Diego State a couple weeks ago, which just makes absolutely no sense. And what really burns me is Hawaii's 12th in our conference, and their one conference win comes to us, just because they beat us. But here's a look at the top 25. Michigan is number 1 in the country. USC is number 2. So 2 Big Ten teams, 3 Big Ten teams top the rankings as Ohio State drops to 3, essentially because they probably lost the game to Michigan. Utah is here at 4. They are 12-0, and they're somehow not first. Oregon is at 5. Georgia is here at 6. They moved up quite a bit. Virginia Tech is at 7, oddly enough. Maryland is at 8. Texas Tech is at 9. So if you got Texas Tech big this year, CFB's got your back. Kansas State is at 10, the round out the top 10. Kentucky's at 11 with South Carolina directly behind them at 12. Miami is at 13. And NC State is at 14 with Rutgers at 15. Rutgers, really? Notre Dame is at 16, Oklahoma State at 17, Texas at 18 with Colorado at 19, then Auburn, Mississippi, and A&M, along with Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, and Louisiana, rounding out the top 25 with those last 3 teams sneaking their way in after not being there in the previous week. So a bit weird of a top 25 and a lot of losses in that top 25 as well. But here is a look at your conference championship matchups. Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State are going to play for the Conference USA Championship. Kansas State and Utah are going to play for the Big 12. Northern Illinois and Toledo are going to play for the MAC Championship in Detroit. Old Dominion and Louisiana are going to play for the Sun Belt. Weird, man. Look at that. None of those teams are that good. Can't believe the Sun Belt fell off that hard. North Texas and Memphis are going to play for the American Conference Championship. The American Athletic Conference, excuse me. And then we are going to play Nevada in the Mountain West Conference. Of course, Kentucky and South Carolina in the SEC Championship. Can you believe that, man? There's no shot. Cal and Virginia Tech are going to play in the ACC Championship, and then Michigan and USC in the Big Ten Championship in Indy. So that is how this all pans out. Very interesting first year in our sim, man. I know some people have gotten some wacky ones, but this is how our first year sim has kind of panned out. So we've had a really decent year. We haven't really gotten much of any looks from, the country, the committee, anything, even though we are the class of our conference here. And looking to make a big showing here in Nevada against the Nevada Wolfpack. And I thought the Mountain West Conference Championship was in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I was confident that it was, because I'm pretty sure it was there last year, and I can't remember if that was just because UNLV was in it or not, but it is not a neutral site game in CFB, at least starting off. Maybe I have to go in and adjust that, but so we were just here at McKay Stadium where the Wolfpack play, just going to try and get a win on the road, essentially. So we get good pressure on the quarterback, because he has to throw that one away on 1st and 10. On 2nd and 10, he's going to lay up an absolute dot to the defense, and there's no one back there. It's a 20-yard run to the end zone, and it is a pick 6 to start our game off. J.D. Drew, pick 6. I think he's had 1 or 2 earlier on in the season. He's definitely had a few picks, his share of picks this year, so we love to see that kind of stuff from our defense early on in this game as Nevada makes a humongous blunder to get their conference championship started. Rough start. even I saw that one when I was playing. Like, I was like, I saw him throw that ball, and I'm like, oh, dude, he's right there. Get that, get that. I think I was even trying to hit buttons to take control and at least try to deflect it, but I'm glad the game worked out in my favor. So our first try on offense now is Nevada couldn't do much with the football once they got it back, and we're, of course, you know what we're already doing, man. We're running that football with Rasul Faison, who gets a 1st and 10, and we're going to stick on the ground with Robert Briggs Jr., and he's going to cut up field, and God, he's just got so much speed, man, just carving his way on the turf as he gets another 1st and 10. So on 2nd and 4 there, we're going to try and throw for it, and there's not really much open, and we're going to send this one out to Brock Lane, I think. Or no, it's Jack Estera, and he gets into a collision course with the defender, and that's going to draw a flag. So we're going to get a pass interference in our favor, and that's going to give us a fresh sign of life here. So on 1st and goal, we're going to go with the option, and Spencer Petras can't really do much of anything with his legs, but it's okay because Rasul Faison is just standing there and waiting for it, and he manages to get into the end zone anyway. So it's going to be another Utah State touchdown, and already we're up 14-0 early on in this ball game, man. And the Nevada faithful might be starting to look a little bit dejected. So, is that a glitch, or does Nevada also do the whole horns thing? I don't know. They're a wolf. The wolves don't have horns. I'm confused. Someone in the know, let me know. So, either way. We're heading out into the 2nd quarter. Nevada, again, still struggling on offense, so it's going to be us again. We're going to get Brock Lane. Brock Lane picks up a beautiful block, and he points it out. That's such a nice touch that they added to this game, that they point out, who they want picked up. That's hilarious. I love that. So 1st and 10 now in Nevada territory. We're going to give it to Briggs Jr. as he cuts outside, finds an open lane here, one man to beat, and he can't close in and make that tackle. It takes a terrible lane to get to Briggs Jr., and so Briggs Jr. is just going to get into the end zone for another Aggie touchdown. Beautiful running by Briggs Jr., man. That's what you get with the speed and elusiveness of Briggs Jr. that you don't really get with Rasul Faison, man. Rasul Faison's still a fast guy, but he's just a little bit bigger to really kind of help with breaking tackles, and Robert Briggs Jr. just has such agility, man. Just the way he moved. This was such an easy play for me to do. Just carving in and out of defenders, basically. And, Nevada, I guess, just didn't have the speed or agility to catch up there with Briggs Jr. So 21-0 is your score here. Still pretty early on in this game. Beautiful throw made by Nevada's quarterback. Beautiful throw. So Nevada's going to finally run with the hurry up here to try and get into the end zone because they're tired of stalling out on offense. Getting the call from the sidelines here. Now on 1st and 10, they are ready to roll. They're going to go with a fake handoff. And again, they're going to go through the air, and they get it out to the flat, and he shakes off one tackle and gets brought down by a couple other Aggies. And so now 2nd and 5, they're going to stick with the hurry up and try and just keep us on our toes. That normally works against our defense. We really struggle against a fast-paced offense, but Nevada's going to try and run for it for some reason. I don't know why they would try that. So running the hurry up is something here, and for some reason it's not working out. It's not clicking for them. So we go to pick a play, but then they try and run the hurry up anyway. So they waste a lot of time, I guess, thinking it over themselves here as they have a little bunch formation on the right side of the field. And it's a very awkward throw, and it does not get to the sticks. So that's going to bring up 4th down. So Nevada does all that just to have a 4th down and have to give it on back to us. But hold on, as one of our blockers gets way too much of the punter. It's a pretty good punt, too, by the way. But gets way too much of the punter. And that's going to draw a flag for the Nevada Wolfpack. And so they're going to get a fresh set of downs way deeper in our territory at the 20-yard line. And they're going to keep it on the ground here as the running back has a perfect wide-open running lane at the middle of the field. So we're going to cut to 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line. They're going to go with the handoff, and it's a perfect running lane for their backup running back as he gets into the end zone to get Nevada their first score of the game, man. And it comes a little bit late. 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half, but they do manage to find it, man. And what a wild name, man. There's so many wild names. And these are still real people, by the way. These are still the actual people that play for these teams. So can't be too shocked. As Rasul Faison needs inches and gets a whole lot more to get us a 1st and 10, but we were stalled on 3rd down again. So on 3rd and 4, we're going to go to the corner of the end zone and toe dragon. Somehow, staying in bounds, we find an open man. So on 1st and goal, they didn't even review that, by the way. There was no booth review or anything. They just gave that to me. And so we're going to give it to Rasul Faison, who's going to just take a little hop skip into the end zone and get another touchdown, man. 27-7 in the first half. And we look to be cruising on our way to a Mountain West title. Still have a whole nother half of ball to play, and Nevada can always wake up here, and I think that full stadium is hoping that they wake up. But we are at halftime, so we're going to get a little spotlight here of Rasul Faison, who's been having a pretty dominant first half. Not a ton of yards, but with 2 touchdowns, you're obviously going to get some looks here in our little cinematics. So playing well against Nevada. I mean, a lot of the big teams in the Mountain West haven't given us a ton of fits, man. It's been a lot of those lowly teams where we've really struggled, like Hawaii. Just Hawaii. Hawaii's going to haunt me in my dreams. I hope we play them next year so I can beat them 63-0. I'm going to put it on the lowest difficulty for that game specifically, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. No, probably not. But either way, hopefully we play them again. So we're on offense here late in the third quarter. I almost said thirst. I did say thirst. In the third quarter, we are here on offense again, and Briggs Jr. is already making Nevada's defense pay for it again as we get inside the 5-yard line. We're going to go with a jet touch pass to give it to Jack Hystera to get into the end zone, and that's going to technically count for Spencer Petras' first touchdown, who hasn't done much of anything today. But it's very much really just a rushing touchdown. In my eyes it is, but the game is going to count it as a passing touchdown, so we will take that. Either way, the score is now 34, potentially 35-7 late in this third quarter. So on 4th and 3, Nevada's going to try and just take the points with under a minute left to go, and then this one is up, and it is long, and it is doinked. So Nevada can't really bail themselves out. Their kicker's John. He's mad. He's a little salty. He missed that one. I would be too. But it was a long field goal. You know, no guarantees. Absolutely no guarantees. But you're not doing yourself any favors by doinking it. Come on, man. We're doinking. What are we doing doinking? We've seen a few doinks this season. Across multiple games, we've seen a few doinks. So the score remains 35-7 as Nevada just cannot seem to get out of their own way. And now we're going to dot this one between 2 defenders. Jack Hystera's got a half step on his defenders, and they're not even going to try and attempt a diving tackle as Jack Hystera gets into the end zone for the next touchdown of this game, man, as we extend to 41-7 over the Wolfpack, and you'd expect this place to be aired out by this point. You probably can't hear any of the game audio, and it's not because I turned it down, man. The stadium is that quiet. The stadium is that quiet. The stadium pulse was at maybe like halfway when I started this game, and by the end, dude, it was just deflated. There was nothing, absolutely nothing left, man. And after a play like that, I wouldn't expect anything to be left. So Nevada's going to tack on one more touchdown in the fourth quarter, but that is going to be it. 42-14 is your score, and there you see some guys you've never seen before, and that's because we had the backups in. The game automatically put my backups in. I did not do it. I thought it manually did it because it did it with UNLV, I think, in that one game, or New Mexico maybe. But no, the game put in my backups. So, and even they were doing effective. I think the game ended and we were on like the 2 or 3 yard line about to score again. I let the time go. So that is going to do it for our Mountain West season. We are the champions, man. There's the trophy. Look at there. And I'm mad that they had our backups in. So Spencer Petras and Rasul Faison aren't on the field for this. It doesn't make sense, but either way, it is what it is. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. Just ignore it. But that is going to end the game here. We are effective in 3 of 4 quarters. We don't really do anything in the fourth, and we didn't really need to. So take a look at things. We completely dwarfed the Wolfpack on offense, man. Just completely embarrassed them. Running for 226 yards. Spencer Petras does go 14 for 18, even though I probably showed you guys maybe 2 or 3 pass plays, just period, in this game. Also, an 87% percentage on third down is wild. If we do that every game, there's no way we lose. There's zero way that we lose. So I'm glad that we managed to win this one here. We're going to take a look now at the stats, of course. And Spencer Petras, man, great game from him. Great game. 12 of 16, 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great to see. Rasul Faison rushes for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Briggs Jr. getting over 100 yards and 1 touchdown. So even the third string running back at 47 yards on 6 attempts. So Jack Hystera leads the way of the receiving corps by a wide margin, with Brock Lane sitting behind. Normally those two names are typically 1 and 2, and then looking over the rest of the team, this is your Mountain West champions. That's the team you're looking at, because this is the rest of them. So there it is, the little splash screen. Look at there, little confetti, fireworks. Yay, we're Mountain West Conference champions. I'm going to see if I can make that a neutral site game. I wonder if it is in real life. If it's not, then we'll keep it the way it is. But either way. So J.D. Drew, off of his pick 6, does get player of the week for the conference, even though we're the only 2 teams that played. But Jack Hystera is going to get offensive player of the week, because, again, we're the only 2 teams that played this week in the conference. So And then Grayson McCall is your Heisman winner out of NC State. He's your Heisman winner. 43 touchdowns to 8 interceptions is absolutely wild, but 3,000 yards isn't a ton. I would expect more yards. For 43 touchdowns, I would expect a heck of a lot more yards, to be completely honest. So Marlon Dean wins Best Defensive End Award, man, with 24 TFLs, 13 tackles, and 12 sacks, man. 12 sacks is great. So good to see Marlon Dean getting some awards here, getting recognized. We haven't looked at the All-Americans. We will do that at the end of the season in that episode. But we're going to end this one with an invitation, a direct invitation placed on my desk in our office. We not only have moved into the top 25, we are now the 25th ranked team in the nation. We are also going to New Mexico, to Albuquerque, to play the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers out of Conference USA. So when you guys come back, or when we come back, we are going to get our first bowl game. So 1 year, 1 bowl game. That's kind of success you can expect from Richard Poker, ladies and germs. So we need everyone in Albuquerque, New Mexico to root us on against the Hilltoppers, baby.